We're live.
Welcome. And we're back.
And we're back. That's exciting.
Sunday.
We do have lots of news in this episode. Listen to the end, and you'll hear our opinions on all the 9 new Star Wars.
Yes, the
episodes,
the Disney
shows.
Plus Star Wars channel, and even the Marvel stuff, the Pixar stuff, all of it, man.
Oh, we're gonna go into all of it. Okay.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. But first, we're gonna go into Mandalorian episode.
Chapter 14? 15? What number are we on?
Chapter 15, The Believer.
Chapter 15, The Believer.
The Believer.
So, is Bill Burr the believer in this?
Or is it the crazy Yahtzee guy?
Is it the whacked out
Empire
imperialist?
You know, I think we didn't cover in the Jedi episode. We didn't cover who we thought was the Jedi because I think everyone assumed it was Ahsoka, but it's really the child, Grogu, since he was the Jedi.
If Ahsoka's taught us anything, it's that she is no Jedi.
She is no Jedi. You are right.
She is no Jedi.
Speaking of which, how far have you come
multiple times
in
Rebels? Where am I in Rebels? I just watched the 3rd episode of season 3. So I have seen her showdown with Vader, where she realizes it's Anakin. What?
Mind blown.
Oh man, that was wild. And he's got the Sith eye.
Such a good episode.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
all the Vader episodes. Yeah. Well, you said Vader.
Yeah, the Vader episodes, but then Maul is in that as well.
Yeah, Maul.
And he's all like, "Oh, Ezra, you'll be my apprentice." He
kind of falls for it a little bit.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, everyone who hasn't watched Rebels.
And spoiler
on that,
every
man.
episode of Is This Entertainment is also a spoiler, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah. So episode 15, The Believer. Yeah, so we start out in the scrap heap. We see what Bill Burr's up to. I have no idea what his real character's name is.
Prison Planet.
Yes. That was cool. Got droids watching. Droids doing all the work, or doing all the...
Yeah, not too secure, really. I mean, just some droids running some... I mean, I guess they can't get off it. It's just a garbage trash planet. So. Right.
And he's got the shackles on his arms.
Yeah. It's just,
even while he's still doing work.
And Cara Dune just comes in with her new Republic badge and's like, I'm just going to peace out this guy.
I signed him out. No big deal.
So, I mean, that's sort of a testament to, like, showing that the New Republic is sort of still kind of a mess. Like, somebody could just come in and walk out with a prisoner.
Yeah, it's still the Wild West.
Yeah.
It sounds like she did it officially. She did it, she went through the proper channels. It's not like she was pulling a fast one on the droid or anything.
I mean, she did it officially, but in a normal society, a police officer couldn't walk into a prison and escort.
If she had the appropriate paperwork,
Yeah, maybe. I would just
I think they could have taken issue with why exactly she needed him. There could have been some more questions based off of like, well, what exactly is your purpose?
Right.
Because I'm sure she didn't say, well, I need to get this baby child who of mysterious origin back from the Imperials. That's not what she said.
That's not what she put in the report.
Yeah, that's not on the TPS report. So wait, did you and I go to see Office Space together in movie theaters? I think we did.
It's a good possibility, but I remember seeing that movie so many times. I love that you can remember my childhood because more than I can.
Your teenagehood.
My teenagehood, yes, yeah.
Yes.
It's like I just want to pick your brain about it. Like, can you just tell me what I did because I don't remember.
I'll write a book.
Yeah, like Jacob did this, Jacob did that. So crazy, so loud.
Yeah, so she probably I want to see what's on that report. But if she had the paperwork, they let him go. Yeah, makes sense.
So New Republic is obviously new, obviously going through some growing pains,
right?
As well as the Empire is going through some massive overhaul changes, and we're seeing in this episode the change between Empire to the New Order or First Order. Is it First Order?
Right.
Yeah, First Order. Yeah, Garbage Planet just walks him out. I'm so glad that she just came in and walked him out, because I did not want to see an entire episode of them busting him out of prison. Like, I thought that's what it was going to be in my brain. Like, I was like, this is going to suck. Just a filler episode. And it was kind of a filler episode in a way.
It was kind of a filler episode, but I mean, it was definitely a side quest. And also, remind me, I take issue with the ending of the episode. So we'll get into that if I don't forget. I mean, from that point forward, it's pretty straightforward. He needs to get into an officer's terminal or whatever the thing was called.
Yeah, you got to log into your terminal. You know, when you used to have to do that, like in what was it, university? I guess when universities and you first had email back in the day, you had to go log into the terminal, check your university email. You don't remember that? U of L?
Nope.
You didn't have
to? No, I just had to. I could check it from my personal computer. I did not have to
technology,
go somewhere.
Yeah, that's amazing. No, I had to go.
Look, that 2-year gap between us really, made some changes there.
Massive, yeah.
I mean, I remember my first semester of college, Google became a thing. Everybody was like, stop going to Yahoo.
Stop
and searching things there.
Alta Vista.
Yeah. Don't ask Jeeves.
Yeah, ask Jeeves.
Google.
Go to Google. Yeah.
So much better.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to go to this terminal so that he can log in and then get the coordinates for Moff's ship. Pretty straightforward mission.
This is a total side tangent, but like, it seems like computers got slower over the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Because like when we were kids, computers were like getting faster, like every, seemed like every week or whatever, like every year, like the next one would be like way faster, more megahertz or whatever. And then like over the last 10 years, it seems like they all just kind of came to a halt. Like until this new M1 Mac thing, everything kind of seemed to go slower.
I don't know. I think it depends on what you're working on. I remember having to wait like 30 seconds for a website to pop up probably 10 years ago, or probably even before then. But I think once it reaches a certain point of like you click the website and it loads pretty instantaneously.
But that's more a function of site speed though than like computer speed. I'm talking about like actual processing, like video editing or whatever. Like that hasn't really changed that much over the last 10 years. And then now
I haven't done a whole bunch of it, so I don't.
And now
really know.
all of a sudden, like, oh, there's a big jump, which is nice, but it just seems like it should have been. What do they call that curve? The graph, the exponential. Like we should be like having supercomputers with flying cars type thing, and really we just have smaller of the same computers. I think is what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point, this guy has 256 times the memory. And I have no idea about the speed of the computer I took to college. So
that's true. Yeah, memory has improved a lot. But if you think about cell phones, they haven't really changed size-wise since the first iPhone or even the first Google phone. Like they're very similar in structure. Like,
well,
I think it's a factor of like a form factor issue. Then
I think they started to work on how do we get them smaller? How do we get them smaller? How do we get them smaller? I think in 2005 I had a flip phone that was this big and it flipped to about that big and it was perfect. It was the perfect phone.
I love perfect phones, man.
It was the Razor was like bulky and
No, I had a little one, like a little blue one, and it flipped and it had like a teeny antenna on it. And that thing was the jam. And then even when they started putting out the iPhones got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then they got to the 4. They got to the 4, which I thought was the perfect size. And they were like, you know what? People like to read more and watch movies more. So we got to make it a little bit bigger. And then let's make the screens bigger. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you've got phones that are the size of iPads. And then I think they're settling in on, I think that like iPhone 5, now that the 12s kind of have that same size. You're talking to an Android guy, but yeah, I mean, phones have kind of they've all sort of hovered around the size. They've gotten a little bigger, but they've hovered around the size for pretty much the last.
It's like, what's the optimal for your thumb to move while still holding it? Like what does that do?
Yeah. Without dropping it in the toilet.
True.
Okay.
Can you hear that dog barking in the background?
I sure can.
Man.
Do you need to go talk to your dog?
No, it's not my dog. It's the neighbor's dog. They just moved in a little while ago. And,
brutal.
They're still trying to figure it out. Dog, what is going on?
Can you call the landlord on them?
No, he owns the house. I mean,
call him. Call what is the people that come?
His number?
Who are the
noise police?
No,
call the noise police.
Who are the the things that come in the animal control. There you go.
Yeah,
That would be mean.
I think
that would be mean.
Yeah, that would be inappropriate. I'm trying to record a podcast. Can you shut your dog up?
Can
please?
you come put these dogs in a van? Bring them down.
We're a dog-friendly podcast, okay?
We love dogs over here. We've been talking about getting a new dog when we move to Thailand, which is going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind? Like a big dog, like a small dog?
She wants a golden retriever, but I'm not sure. It just depends if we get a yard or not, I think.
Yeah, I feel bad for big dogs that don't have room to run.
Yeah, if we don't get a
That's
yard.
why I've always been a fan of tiny dogs, because I won't, they think, a walk around the block is like a big deal.
Yeah. Are you going to come visit us in Thailand?
I would love to.
You should. You and Caitlin come
I
hang
got
out
my
with
passport.
us. We're going to be on the beach. We're going to be on the beach, and it's going to be amazing.
I like beaches.
We keep looking at houses. We're scrolling through. Adulting. Like, we're like, oh, let's get this.
Yeah. It's not really the square footage I was hoping, but for that price.
Okay, back to the podcast.
But more importantly, no. What were we talking about? Bill Burr, probably. What I liked about this episode was the constant checking in on whether or not he was going to take his helmet off.
Right, and also the
are we going to get one episode a year? Like, we're going to get one episode a season where he has to take the helmet off.
They really did it in a good way, I think. It was just sort of the kind of he had to, where he doesn't, he won't hopefully feel too bad about it.
Right.
And that line, like, who's going to go into the place with me? And then Boba Fett. Let's just say I have a face that they might recognize.
I thought that was great.
That line was great. Oh my God.
I was like, I don't know, man. He looks a little disfigured, but yeah, they'd still probably recognize him.
So they had to pick who's going to go into the thing.
Right. They had to suit up like
and then
stormtroopers.
And yeah, he gets out of his armor. So like, that's a big deal. And he does make a good point about so are you not allowed to take your helmet off, or are you just not allowed to show your face? I mean, he makes several points that sort of make it easy for him to question his motivation for covering his face.
Yeah, he pokes some holes in there, but it's very tastefully done to kind of we're just planting seeds for how much of this being the way is truly the way. They're driving the incredibly volatile, explosive-y stuff. Yeah, fuel,
So, like,
whatever.
I guess if it gets too hot or too much shakeage, those meters go up.
Yeah, it's got like a nitroglycerin kind of properties where
you shake it too much.
If it's in motion, it likes to stay in motion, and don't jostle it about. And then you've got the natives trying to do exactly that.
Well, I don't think those were
circumstances we would be for them.
Just pause. Those were not the natives. Those were pirates. They were separate.
Right, but why would the pirates want to blow it up?
Well, the natives.
I feel like they had a secondary motive of, we're going to try to steal this for ourselves because it'll be helpful to our cause. But
I get where you're coming from, and I would think that the natives would want to blow it up. But the natives were definitely humanoid, like more human, when they drove through the town. And then all of a sudden, the pirates were more alien-y looking, and they looked more like those guys from Clone Wars.
Gosh, if Hondo shows up...
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like a Hondo.
He would be like 1 billion years old at this point. Wait, no, that's not true. All right, so Mandalorian takes place 9 years after the Battle of Yavin. So this is like 15 years after.
Yeah, so not that long. So these guys
Hondo
can be
could
around.
Still very much be alive. He's not going to be in, super great shape. Yeah, he can still be around. Yeah. He's a fun character. I like him.
Oh, we got a song coming out soon.
We do
have a song coming out. I'm going to finish mixing it very soon, and it will go onto Spotify in maybe a few weeks. But if you want to get it before it goes to Spotify, go ahead and head over to isthisentertainment.com/pleased to meet you, all spelled out, pleased to meet you, and you'll be able to download the song in advance.
Yay.
Yeah. Is that the name of the song? Did you think that's a good name?
It is now.
Okay.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
So so we think they were pirates and not the indigenous people of the planet. It could be the Gungan situation.
The Jar Jars.
Yes, the Jar Jar Binkses. If maybe these pirate fellas, they're just from the other side of the planet.
Yeah, the other side of the tracks. Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way, it was a fun action sequence.
It was incredible.
Especially, I felt like the anticipation was really nice of, all right, we're just humming along. Everything's going really well. Everything's going smoothly. And then you hear over the radio, oh, Transport 3 having a little trouble. And boom, in the distance.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Transport 4, here we go. Transport 4, hey, we're having some trouble too. Boom, in the distance. Yikes. And then having to drive through the wreckage, and then all of a sudden, here come the pirates. That was pretty rad.
Yes, and all the fighting was fun, and his gun not working. That was like that was great.
And kind then seeing him have to fight without the Beskar, seeing like his stormtrooper suit
it got a little wrecked. It got a little messed up, but it worked.
Get a little chipped up.
Yeah, it was good to see that. Like the armor breaks, but it kind of it's still armor.
Yeah, and it puts into focus how good it is to have that Beskar.
Yes, the Beskar. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Beskar, did you notice that what's his name's looks different?
Oh, they changed up Boba Fett's
armor design. It's like totally different.
In the prior episode, I feel like he just like threw the equipment on real quick. I feel like in this one he had like a black undershirt kind of a thing going on in between the Beskar.
Yeah.
That was a bit more.
But the actual design is different than the previous Boba Fett.
Than back in like Return of the Jedi?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I haven't. I mean, I would assume there would be some subtle differences because I'm sure they don't have that stuff laying around anymore.
Yeah, it's just they just went for like a more bold look because it looked more beat up back in the day. So maybe painted over or something.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the Jawas did something. Maybe the sheriff did something when he picked it up.
Right. It's just different. What are you gonna do?
Right. Yeah. So then they make it onto the base. They get helped out by some TIE fighters. I thought that was You don't normally go rooting for the TIE fighters to show up in these things. So then when that happens and they end up saving the day.
That was a great perspective, I think. It was just showing the TIE fighters save the day. Their aim was still a little off. It almost hit them, but then they hit the right thing for once. And the stormtroopers were all celebrating. And it really humanized the stormtroopers.
Right.
And we don't really see that. The Empire being more just like people, like, just trying to do what they think is right,
Right. Until we actually get to talk to one 5 minutes later and find out this dude's a horrible person.
I don't know. I think he made some excellent points. He's horrible. He's horrible. Yes. Yeah. And murdery.
Yeah.
But he made an excellent point about, because I think that's what we're going through now in society is people think they want freedom, but what they really want is order. And I think that couldn't be more true. I think people really would prefer order over actual freedom.
I think people like routine, but I think they like to choose what that routine is.
A, B, or C. They want multiple choice. They don't want a long form answer.
If it were easier to live outside of the system, would more people take advantage of that? For instance, I need money to pay my mortgage. Mm-hmm. To have money to pay said mortgage, I have to have a job. Now, jobs in general have changed a lot over the last 10 years as we've gone from, I would say, 90% of jobs being in the 9 to 5, get up for the grind, Monday through Friday work, and then transitioning to now it's probably like 40% being like gig work because people don't want to pay for health insurance anymore. Mm-hmm. People being companies and don't want to make somebody a full-time employee if they don't have to, or give vacation days or any other sort of benefits. If we didn't need to make money to pay for the roof over our head and we could self-sustain, basically what I'm saying is I'm moving to Montana, going to the fields, and I'm going to work the land. I've got the beard for it.
Yeah, you do.
Although I'm terrible at growing stuff. Yeah. I've tried to have plants, but I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, you could do, I think there's a way. There's a way for that, for people that want to do that. It's just, you got to be careful with mortgages. The etymology of the word mortgage is death note. So you may have heard of that before.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
But it's better than paying rent, I think.
Could be.
For
could
me,
be.
at least.
Yeah.
For me in my current circumstances.
Yeah, and it's nice because you can
when I was younger,
you can rent it
I
out to
didn't
someone
want to
else.
own a thing.
Yeah, you can rent it out to someone else too if you needed to move or whatever. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, no,
If
lots
I
of
wanted
options, but we're locked into the system right now. I don't know what our point is, but just
so
there are options. It's just not easy. Like you could go to
not easy.
You could go to Montana and find a plot of land that nobody's on. Probably nobody would bother you if you go to the middle of nowhere. But who's going to do that?
Not super easy.
No. Which is my point. Is like we prefer order than actual freedom. Like even in this instance, in this particular comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of our the comparison of our current lives or the comparison that's made in The Mandalorian.
In our current lives, yeah. In our current lives,
okay.
We prefer, I prefer paying rent to trying to find a tent to live in somewhere.
Yeah.
And in The Mandalorian too, they make it the same point, and I think it's good for people to think about these kinds of things because there's some advantages to society that I think people sort of poop on sometimes, and it's like we got water, we got air conditioning, we got electricity, we got all this stuff, and sometimes people kind of forget. Oh yeah, you don't have to shit and clean it up yourself. You can flush the toilet.
Yeah, this could all be a lot worse.
It could be
for us. Yes, 100%. But yeah, no. But this guy, this character, I don't know his name, but this creepy fella, I gotta say,
a captain or something. Some kind of captain.
Yeah, and obviously, he's got that hard military stance of, some people had to die, but they were glorious deaths, and we had to sacrifice a whole lot to win.
Yeah, because he's thinking about the system. He's thinking long term about installing the system so that you can flush your toilet when you go home. And that's where he's
but he's also missing the point of why.
Why?
Why, Jacob? Why?
So you can have electricity and flush your toilet. I told you.
No, but for the humanity of life, my friend. Why do we do anything? Like, what's the point? Life, love. That's the point.
We have to start another. We're gonna have to start another podcast.
No. Let's deal with it within this one, man. Let's go back to the Beatles. Within you, without you. No, okay. Read my blog post on the website.
Yeah, this true.
It's got a great message, that song.
Yeah, Ben did update his, after we did the podcast, the original Beatles podcast, he did update his, he didn't get enough words.
I just wanted to expand on some of the thoughts, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it all out. And honestly, I didn't even get it all out in the thing. But if I did, I'd have to write a book.
Yeah. So, but you can read
a lot more words.
You can read Ben's thoughts on isthisentertainment.com.
Yeah, check it out. But yeah, this guy, creepy fella, not great, and I'm glad Bill Burr shot him.
That was
because obviously, this guy made some decisions that got a lot of his friends killed.
Yes,
and
that was great. Actually seeing that moment where what this guy, because I thought for a second, they could just bullshit BS this guy and then get out,
Right.
But Burr, definitely. He just got riled up, man.
He was like, no. We're gonna hash this out.
Yeah, his PTSD was kicking in, and he was just gonna let him have it.
And he did, and they did. And then once they got outside that window, man, you got Fennec Ming-Na and Cara Dune just picking fellas off. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed two over here, got him, click, they're gone.
They really served their purpose. Yeah.
There was a lot of really efficient murdering of Imperials. It was efficient murdering. Two people who were very good at their jobs.
It was a happy day for
being good at their jobs.
For Imperial murdering, and then also the extra murdery sniper shot. The super accurate
the sniper
shot that
to blow
Bill Burr
the base.
Bill Burr took out. So he takes the sniper shot. He takes the sniper shot and just blows the entire thing up. I wonder though, because they humanized the stormtroopers at the beginning and they were actually happy that the stormtroopers saved them. Isn't it also a little at that point on that he decided to murder them all?
Nah.
After they became more human, he's like, I'm still going to murder all of you.
Huh? Nah, because even when they were celebrating, taking super explosive resources from this planet, and they were celebrating, but they weren't celebrating for good reasons.
Right.
Nothing that they're doing is helping out the people who live there. It's not like their presence is beneficial to anyone other than themselves. So
I appreciate you enlightening me a little bit.
One thing that we haven't really touched on, aside from just the fact that it did happen, I did love the Bill Burr handing the mask back to Mando and basically saying, "Hey, I won't tell anybody."
Yeah, I didn't see your
face. I never
face.
saw your face.
I never saw your face.
That was great. That was great.
That was really a great way to end that scene. And you could see, so let's talk about like when he took his mask off, he didn't really think anybody was going to see him. He was just going to get scanned. And then the guy saw him, and you could see the shock on his face. Like he couldn't even talk. Like he was really just tore up inside, I think, that he had to show his face. And he's just standing there probably thinking, I have to kill myself now or something, That had to be harsh for him. And
it's
Bill Burr came in and
you're watching someone get deprogrammed out of a cult in real time.
Yeah. It can be depressing before it gets better,
Right. But yeah, I thought that was a lovely moment between the two guys of mutual understanding and respect.
Yeah, who really came in and saved the day there.
He gives him shit about the helmet and the armor, poking those nice little honesty holes throughout the whole thing. And then in the end, he's like, "Hey, I got your back. We're good here."
He respects where he's coming.
I won't give you a hard time about this.
I like where Bill Burr was coming from too in the ride on the way over, where he was saying Empire, Alliance, whatever, same, right? Like he kind of has a point. Who's your ruler?
Right. I don't remember that conversation that much.
Yeah, he's talking about.
I remember it happening. I just don't remember the specifics of it.
Yeah, they drove through where the natives were, and they're saying it's the same to the natives.
Right.
You having a ruler, being ruled. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a point. Like they're really touching
on some of those last Jedi points. You know?
Yeah, which is
who's benefiting here? Who's making the money off of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really kind of surprised they're going in harder on this sort of thing in Star Wars. I thought maybe most of the backlash from Jedi was sort of people inserting their commentary on these points, and maybe Favreau and Filoni are like, F it, we want people to know what the hell's going on, Well,
I feel like in watching Clone Wars now and watching Rebels, I feel like Filoni is willing to really kind of expand the idea of storytelling within the universe.
Yeah, and he's got a long
and explore some of those things. I also did not realize that he was in charge of The Last Airbender in some way, or he worked on The Last Airbender. So now I've heard great things about that show. I need to go back and watch it. I think once I finish up with all of this Star Wars stuff, I'm gonna go back and watch Last Airbender and then Legends of Korra, because I've heard it's great.
Last Airbender goes into like chakras and everything, like all kind of like really spiritual, deep stuff for kids, and I think it's kind of amazing. Yeah,
I did watch the M. Night Shyamalan movie, and let me tell you, it wasn't great.
That's what I heard.
Wasn't great, but I knew I could feel that it had good bones. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is coming from a good place, and I should probably watch the originals to get a better idea of what's going on, because it's probably told a little bit better. But yeah, this is a good story, just not executed super well. So I want to check it out. Yeah, and now that I know Dave Filoni's involved, I'm like, now I'm definitely going to go back and check that out.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it too, just because of some of the concepts and things that I know are in there. It's like a show that I'm looking forward to watching with my kids. Be like, hey. Yeah, there might be.
So wait, you have not watched it before?
I haven't seen it. I've just seen clips from it, and I kind of know what it's about. And the concepts and stuff that are in it, I'm somewhat familiar with. So it's kind of exciting to see that that's in a piece of media that the general public has access to.
Okay, now I want to talk about the end of the episode.
Okay.
Because this made me mad. They get the coordinates, and then
they tell him
Lando tells him they're coming. Why would you do that? You think Moff Gideon's going to be scared of your little, hey, it's coming from my kid. You don't understand how much I want him back. Come on, man. You've ruined your element of surprise. You MacGrubered it.
I think he probably broadcast that after he was already there or something. But yeah, it's a little weird. Like, why would you do that before you got there?
I mean, we all know that's what the next move is.
Yeah.
So why? It's from a storytelling standpoint. You don't have to tell the audience you're coming.
From a human standpoint, like as a person, Moff Gideon literally said the same words to him, and I think he just wanted to say them back.
Oh,
he said the child is what did he say at the beginning?
Like, more important to me than you know, or something like that.
You would ever know. Like, yeah, he said that to Mando originally when he was trying to take him, and I think he just wanted to throw it back in his face.
Okay, all right. So now I have less qualms with it, but I still have qualms.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way too, and then I was like, oh wait, now it makes sense because he said that to him. So that's all. Gotcha. But to give him the heads up is a little effed up because he can just take off and then he's
right.
You can't break back into another Imperial base so easy. No Bill Burr.
So we know where we're headed. We're headed back to we're heading toward Moff Gideon's ship.
Okay, so speaking of modern conveniences of the system, I've signed up for Webull and I got a free stock. And if you use the link in the description of the show notes, which will be on isthisentertainment.com, you can sign up for Webull and get a free stock. All you have to do is deposit $100 and create an account and you'll get a free stock. Sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 6, depending on the promotion they got going on.
Here's the deal. I got a couple of stocks and it's a lot of fun. You wake up in the morning, you check to see if you got any progress. And, maybe you made 3 cents, maybe you lost $1.50. I mean, look, here's the deal. Like right now, prices are down a little on certain things.
It might be a good time to buy. I don't know. We're not experts.
So now could be a good time. I'm not an expert. I don't know. I'm not registered with the financial people, but I tell you this, it's a fun little thing to do. And, look, I'm just saying it's fun. It's fun. It
is fun. And it's fun. Like the graphs, they show you everything and it's easy to use. And that's my whole pitch.
Speaking of investments, Disney had their Investor Day 2020 and dropped a whole bunch of knowledge on what they've got going on. Just based off of that, man.
Knowledge bombs, Star Wars bombs.
Disney Plus is very quickly rivaling Netflix, in my opinion.
It's ramping up. It's ramping up to be the service they promised us originally. I think it's kind of been.
Well, I mean, it's already better than. I mean, especially if they do go through with merging Hulu and Disney Plus, then 100%. And with some of the stuff that you can do with like Hulu Live and actually like run broadcast TV through it, that's pretty rad. But the Disney slate, what they've got coming up is huge. And I wanted to go through specifically the Star Wars stuff with you to get some of your takes. So first things first, from an animation standpoint, things that they announced this week were The Bad Batch, official animation show, backdoor piloted with a couple of episodes in the Clone Wars.
So The Bad Batch, I thought were actually some of the weaker episodes of the Clone Wars. So I'm kind of surprised they made an entire show out of it. What do you think? Are you excited about this at all?
I am. I think the show for me was primarily about Anakin, Obi-Wan, Rex, and Ahsoka. So the rest of that show, there isn't a whole lot to draw from other than you're not going to do a Mace Windu show. You're not going to do, although, man, a Darth Sidious show would be kind of interesting.
So it's basically just a continuation of the Clone Wars, but just without the main protagonist that we're familiar with.
Right. I think finding out what those guys do once the Empire or once the Republic falls would be pretty interesting, how they handle that.
We never see what happened with the clones, like going forward. Like, did they all just run off to some planet somewhere or what? Yeah.
Yeah. They take out Order 66. And then at what point does the transition from clones to recruits / maybe orphans to whatever happens with stormtroopers? How does that? And they
age up faster, so they probably die faster. So they probably all kind of die off at the same time, which is sort of sad. Like, maybe that's something we'll see, like the aging process.
Yeah, that is sad. Yeah. Either way, the animation looked pretty great. I thought the animation looked nice in the little preview. I'm excited about it. The other animation idea, or the other animation show that they have that they showed preview or didn't preview, but talked about was the Star Wars Visions, which will be an anime.
Oh, like an Animatrix
vibe.
type thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Just basically exploring Star Wars through an anime perspective.
That could be cool.
Yeah, could be cool. I don't think I'm gonna go hard on it. I think I'll just kind of like, I'll check it out and dip my toe in, and if it's cool, I'll keep watching, and if not, I'm good with that too. And I feel the same way about a droid story, which was the other animation idea that they have that they're working on. Although I will say, while watching Rebels, I'm getting more on board with Chopper. Chopper's, some of his reactions of just like womp 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 womp. I'm starting to enjoy it. They've really fleshed out Chopper in the last.
They fleshed out his womp womps
half a season, so I'm digging that. But I don't know. They would have to be. I mean, BB-8 was a lot of fun.
But isn't the droid story specifically 3PO, R2, and like a new droid? I think.
Oh, is it? Is that what the plan is? Okay.
I think that's what I heard about it. So
look, at this point, get Anthony Daniels paid. Yeah. Get him his money. Like, he's not doing I haven't seen him in a whole lot else other than Star Wars stuff. So any opportunity to get that man paid, get him paid. He's earned it.
That's fair.
He's earned it.
That's fair, but I mean, out of all the Star Wars stories you could have done, we've seen a lot of C-3PO and R2 already.
True. But look, they got a lot more coming. So live action, we got 2 Mandalorian spin-offs, which you've alluded to, and I hadn't heard anything about until this dropped.
You didn't believe me.
Ahsoka spin-off, which, did you see the logo for that?
Yeah. Do you know about that now?
Yeah, that's rad. And then
do you know what that means?
Of the New Republic.
You don't know what it means. You haven't seen the end of Rebels.
No, I don't know what that means.
Okay, I can't say. I really want to go into this hard with you as soon as you finish Rebels. Yep. I'm not going to give it away, but y'all watching, y'all know what that logo means. Stuff's about to get wrecked. And nice. So Ahsoka, more than even whatever Republic show this is, I think Ahsoka will lead the future of Star Wars in general.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm for it. Rosario Dawson's great. So she should be utilized. And then, this Rangers of the New Republic show, basically these X-Wing guys that we keep bumping into in The Mandalorian.
It should be really fun.
Some of that.
Yeah.
And
Kim's Convenience.
Cara Dune's probably going to be part of that. So that's cool.
Yeah. Cara Dune. I think actually this episode that we just watched, The Believer, is probably the closest to what we're going to see in the new Rangers of the New Republic episodes. So I think it's going to probably be similar to what we saw, them going out and doing missions, and that's my guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's super cool
because it seems like they're gonna take Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka and the next season of Mandalorian and kind of all combine it into like a Avengers
like
type
one big story
type event. Yeah,
it'd be super rad. So then we get into some of the other shows. Andor, the Cassian Andor show.
I don't get it. I mean, the only thing I'm excited about it, the only thing I'm excited about in that show is K2SO.
Oh yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That was great.
Otherwise, I don't see the point in the show.
I mean, he's kind of a Han Solo type.
It's just weird that they're going back in time again. Like, I thought Star Wars was moving forward.
I think it's going to jump around all over the place.
Go back. Speaking of going back, we got Lando,
the Acolyte.
Show? What? There's a Lando show.
Oh yeah, the Lando show.
Why is there a Lando show?
Why not? He's an interesting character. Pops up in Rebels. That's fun. Okay. Now the real question is it going to be Billy D? Is it going to be Donald Glover? They didn't say. Is it going to be some third new person that we don't know about?
I hope it's like, remember when they did that Indiana Jones TV show?
Mm-hmm.
And they had, didn't they have like Harrison Ford talking about when he was younger? Like he would intro the show.
Oh, so you're thinking like a Billy D kind of sets it up.
Set up like hey, back when I was a kid. Right.
Yeah, drinking Colt 45.
Colt 45.
I'm intrigued. Lando's a fun character, and I think it has to do with him setting up Cloud City, like how becoming this proprietor of this mining town. Visually, I think that alone's worth the price of admission.
I wish I could be more on board. I just I'm not excited at all. Like, we've seen it already. Like, we know what happens.
What are you talking about, man?
Like, we can kind of surmise
afterward.
We can, but between the Solo
Lando
movie, we saw the Solo movie, we saw where Lando was, and then we saw Empire Strikes Back. We know where he gets, and like the story to getting there.
But Lando was, for my money, the best part about Solo. Maybe not.
I thought Kira was.
Kira was great. Was great. There's enough there of him being, a scoundrel type, but then also having him kind of turning into this, you're telling me you don't want to watch a show where Lando has to deal with mining unions? Come on, that's gonna be fun.
You're right. You make a good point. I can't wait to see Lando negotiate with mining.
Get into a trade dispute with a mining union?
Yeah,
come on, that's gonna be fun.
That's what we're missing. More trade disputes.
Yes, more trade disputes. Okay, so then we also get an update on. We get a name for what's her name? Leslie Heidland. The lady who did Russian Doll. Her show is going to be called the Acolyte. So Acolyte, it's a dark side user during the last days of the High Republic. I'm for it. I think that's going to be fun.
It's just more going back. I don't get it.
Prime High Republic Jedi stuff, and then the seed of darkness growing that will eventually turn into what?
Do you think we'll get some
Darth Bane or something?
Or Plagueis. So Plagueis would be. How far back is it going?
Plagueis, right? Yeah, no, probably.
Is it too far? Because I think Plagueis was.
I think it might be too far.
Yeah,
no, it might be too far.
So maybe Bane.
I think that could be super cool. Actually, the last one is the one I'm most excited about, and I assume it's the one you're most. No, ObiWan.
Oh,
the ObiWan show.
Yeah,
with Hayden Christensen,
Anakin himself.
Anakin is back. That makes me think they're going to show him with the helmet off a couple of times. That's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be not only helmet off. I think they're going to do probably a lot of flashbacks. I think it's going to be back and forth.
Oh, that could be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that. Be down for some flashbacks.
I
was also thinking as a device they could use, Obi-Wan kind of talking to this former version of Anakin that's in his head.
Yeah, maybe they can force chat. That seems to be the thing now. If they
no, I'm thinking some sort of it's all in his head, but it's what helps him cope with being isolated on Tatooine.
His memories of Anakin or
he's just so isolated that he's now having conversations with himself, but it's visualized on the show as him having a conversation with Anakin. But in one of the lines there, one of the things that they said was that it was going to be the epic rematch. So I assume they're going to fight in the end. Mm-hmm. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, and this fight
takes place 10 years after Sith.
This fight would be more. There'll be more movement, I believe, than the New Hope fight.
Than the last one.
Yeah.
Than in A New Hope.
Yeah, that was sad. That fight was so sad.
I like to think that they were just so in tune with the Force that it was their movements were.
I mean, it was intense. It was intense.
It was intense. It was intense. It was intense. It was a chess match rather than an all-out checkers war. The fight in Revenge of the Sith was checkers. This was a chess match.
Maybe it's
A New Hope was a chess match.
Maybe you've got that backwards.
No. Checkers is just freewheeling. You're throwing darts at the board.
Just see what happens.
Chess, you got calculated movement. I'm old. I can't do the things that I used to do. So,
speaking of chess, have you seen Queen's Gambit yet?
No, not yet. It's on the list. Right now, we are watching. Man, we're finishing the last of the Marvel Netflix shows. So we're finishing Jessica Jones season 3 right now.
We couldn't even get through that one. Is it good at the end? I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. I loved all the Marvel Netflix shows. I thought they were really strong.
Iron Fist
Iron Fist was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. The first season of Luke Cage was so good. Mahershala Ali was so good as Cottonmouth. Yeah, that was great. And then all of the Daredevil was great.
Daredevil's amazing. Yeah. I heard they might be.
Daredevil 3 I thought Daredevil 3 lagged a little
There's
bit.
a rumor that Daredevil's going to show up in the new Spider-Man.
I've heard that.
Which is like as the lawyer.
Oh, nice.
Like,
nice.
Spider-Man couldn't have been here because he was in school.
Well, so speaking of the greater Marvel universe, word on the street is they're going to have all 3 of the Sony Spider-Men, or the other 2, also in this new Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going like complete multiverse. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that. I think that's going to be rad.
Yeah.
I'm happy Toby in. Let's get Andrew Garfield.
I mean, they did Andrew Garfield kind of dirty, so I mean, it'd be good to have him back.
True. I would love to see D'Onofrio show up as Kingpin anywhere.
Yeah, he was a Spider-Man villain, I think, before Daredevil villain, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm all for that guy. He's pretty good.
Oh, and then, sorry, back to Star Wars with this investors meeting. The 2 films they talked about, Taika Waititi movie, still coming in. All they had was like a graphic.
Yeah, it's just like a...
that looks School of Rock.
School of Rock Star Wars movie, yeah. It could be like for kids more.
No, I think it's going to be if Thor Ragnarok and his episode of The Mandalorian that he directed are any. I think this is going to be amazing.
Which episode was his?
Patty Jenkins' movie. The other film, the one that will happen the quickest. The next Star Wars movie will be Rogue Squadron, directed by Patty Jenkins.
Is that going to be Wedge?
Top Gun in space. I think so. I think it is going to be Wedge.
They didn't say what time period, right? There's no...
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no indication.
I don't know if it'll be like maybe in between while things are happening, maybe it'll be like in the middle of the original trilogy somewhere.
Yeah. Or it could be current. It could be current, like he's still around, I think. Current like Mandalorian timeline. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It could even be, because Wedge comes back at the end of Rise of Skywalker, so it could be in that. Yeah, but they would have, if it's called Rogue Squadron, it's going to be a little closer to the original trilogy timeline, I think.
Yeah, it could be like after Empire or, something where there's still something to fight. Yeah.
Either way, Patty Jenkins, great director. She did an awesome job with the Wonder Woman. I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman 84. Everything that I've read online has been positive from a review standpoint of that movie coming out.
Can you still get HBO Max free for a month? I need to do that. If you can,
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
So that's a huge slate of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Disney Plus shows, 2 new movies, and 3 animated shows,
and another season of Mandalorian on top. It's not like we're not getting. Yeah, it's not like we're not getting Mandalorian. So
yeah,
it's a lot.
A Willow series.
Yeah,
dude, Willow.
I didn't realize that Willow. I don't remember Willow. All I remember about Willow is that I watched it, but I don't remember anything.
Oh, it's rewatching, man. It's worth it. It's worth it. Do a rewatch.
It takes place in the Star Wars universe, I guess. I didn't realize that. That's what they're saying. They said it.
What?
It said Star Wars universe Willow.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I just think because it's under that, because they had Indiana Jones on that same graphic, Indiana Jones 5. I think it's just that was like the Lucasfilm property.
Maybe. What was the other Star Wars movie they had back in the day with the Ewoks?
Ewok Adventures, Caravan of Courage, and
so it couldn't. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah,
but those were only like 45 minutes long, and
so
Wilford Brimley was in that second one.
So Willow's probably a separate thing then.
I think so. Yeah,
and then there's going to be another Indiana Jones.
Yep, they're doing Indiana Jones 5. They're saying it will be the last Indiana Jones, or maybe the last Harrison Ford Indiana Jones.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably time.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't just been like, I'm done,
Right.
Like the fact that he came back for Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
A little strange.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought it was well done though. Him coming back, you didn't like it?
I mean, it was a good conversation. I think.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it showed the conflict within. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was really him. I think it was like is this happening in your head? Yeah. Well, of course it is Harry.
Yeah, I've had experiences like that where like a very vivid what am I trying to say? Conversations with people that are no longer with us.
What kind of mushrooms you take?
I'm pretty sure it was during a dream.
So yeah, and then there's all of the Marvel stuff happening on Disney Plus, which I'm excited for. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Actually, I'm most excited for WandaVision. I think that'll be the most whacked out show. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's just going to be like all over the place. Loki looks like it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. All the things that I was excited about Disney Plus originally are like it looks like they're finally coming to fruition. Like it's been a while. Like they promised us a Marvel show like way back in the day. So like,
right. Yeah. I definitely feel like it's been a slow build. But
so we're gonna
get the pandemic pushed everything back.
We're gonna get a ton of content in 2021. Like we're kind of all probably starved for content because of the pandemic. Like we're all just we're all binge watching everything.
People got into that Tiger King show. There was no need for that. Normal circumstances, I don't think people get into that guy.
You mean the Monkey King, Tiger King? What's Tiger King?
Yeah, that documentary about the tiger guy down in like Florida or Louisiana or whatever. You didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh my gosh, man. It was like a big deal in March.
Yeah, but it's tough, man. It's tough. Like we just don't even try anymore. Like we turn on Netflix to see if something new came out. If not, we just turn the TV off. We're done.
Very early on, we saw this as an opportunity to watch those things that we had been meaning to watch but hadn't gotten around to it. Mm-hmm. So we put a list on the fridge and then we just keep adding more things to the list.
That's cool.
And it's been a pretty good if we calculated all of the movies and all the series we've watched since March, it would be insane.
Yeah, it's a lot. No, we've been watching a lot of content.
And that's why we need funding for the arts.
True.
Because when everything went down, everybody was like, I need to be entertained. Keep my mind off of all this gloom and doom.
Well, that's why there's YouTube.
Well, I started my day with espresso and have switched to drip coffee. And I was about here
with espresso.
We started recording. No, I did the whole espresso. That was all gone before we started recording. Then when we started recording, I was about here. Now I'm about here. So
you're good.
Doing okay.
Like coffee just isn't hitting me the same as it used to. Like this is my maybe third cup. It's empty. Then I switched to tea, and I got empty. And
are you on a dark roast, a light, medium?
I want to say it's like a medium, probably a medium roast. Okay. It's a medium Keurig button.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I miss my
enough sleep.
Yeah. I just miss. Okay. I miss my Thai coffee, Ben. I think that's what it is. Yeah, something about it. Coffee that hasn't been sprayed with chemicals to kill germs. So much better. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm just getting old. Cut all this out.
No, this is gold. Leave it in.
We might as well start Googling stuff at this point.
Right? Oh my goodness. Let me see. Was there any other shows that we missed that are going to be awesome?
If you're listening if you're still listening, leave a comment. Let us know what show you're looking forward to most, because I'm actually not. I'm interested in the ObiWan show. Like I'm gonna watch it, but it's not. I'm actually more looking forward to the New Republic and Ahsoka show more, because at least the timeline.
ObiWan and Ahsoka are probably like 1 and 1A for me.
Yeah, I just want to see the timeline move forward from Mandalorian. Really am interested in that, because to me that's breaking new ground. That's new territory. That's
right.
Something we haven't really seen or heard about before. So
right, but even within that timeline, we still know it ends up with the New Republic and the First Order and and the new trilogy. Why not want to move forward from there?
That's a very
Is it because question. You hope that it all gets retconned?
It's all. I really think it's gone. I think it's going away. I think it's going to get
jettisoned.
It's just going to get alternate universe, and it's
everybody's got a multiverse these days.
Yeah. It's there's some pretty clear symbols and signs that we're going another way, I think. So it's exciting for me. Will you be sad about it if they just say, hey, you know what? Let's make Luke awesome again. Will you be upset about that, or will you be happy?
I mean, if you frame the question as let's make Luke awesome again, then. But that's kind of hard. That's hard to disagree with.
No, I'm saying if they tell a different story, if they tell a different story instead of 7,
they could tell a billion Luke stories in between 6 and 7.
They could,
So,
and they probably. There's a good chance we're going to get some of that. But I'm saying if they go past 7, if they go to 7, where 7 was timeline wise, but it's a different story than 7, 8, and 9. Would you be hurt?
Depends on how well it's done, honestly. You know, I certainly don't like the idea of dismissing an entire trilogy because, you know, for all of its flaws, I still enjoyed it immensely, and I enjoyed it probably a little bit more than the prequels.
I enjoyed it a lot more because of the, you know, the updated effects and the shots and things like that.
Right, exactly. It had the tone. It had the
but
wasn't completely CGI'd.
I mean, Rise of Skywalker was. I mean, we already talk about this ad nauseum, but the actual story from a writing point of view is just it hurts. It hurts. And it's too like it's this coincidence. It's like it's not like there was one coincidence and then everything fell into place. It was coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, and it's just like you're on a thin ass rope. If none of those things happened, if they hadn't, you know, fallen into the sand pit and found the knife and all the, you know, like it's too much to ask. I think from a story point of view.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like. Maybe
like you didn't have time to think about it when you're watching it because it goes from one thing to the next thing so fast. The cutting, the pacing of it is so fast. You don't realize that the story is just full of garbage, like holes, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
That's a lot of movies. And you know,
but to be fair, this is Star Wars and it's the final episode, like you said.
Right. The final episode of a 9, you know, movie arc. I get it.
It's a tough.
But there's also this thing called the Force, which just, you know, makes coincidence happen easier.
It's like you can just explain vision. Like we'll just explain it.
It's fated to be.
It's just gravity. That's why. Yeah. It's just it's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain vision.
All right. So this has been Jacob and Ben Hate Star Wars. No.
No, I think we should definitely keep talking here. We got a lot of stuff. We got a whole bunch of Marvel stuff. You're right. WandaVision, that's coming out. Like we're gonna be
Disney Investor Day. They dropped a whole bunch of info. Speaking of investment, get your Webull. Spell that. What is it?
It's Webull, WE, and then the word bull, BULL. But you're gonna go to
Bull.
You're gonna go to isthisentertainment.com and get it from our link so that
that's how you do it.
So that we can get the extra stock and you get the extra stock. Oh, and also we got the song playing. Maybe it's playing right now. It's coming out. You can get it before it comes out if you go to isthisentertainment.com/pleased to meet you, all spelled out one word.
And also don't forget to like us and subscribe and rate and review on whatever you're listening to us on. If you're on the Apple Podcasts, hit us with that review. Maybe send us a comment. Ooh, we got our first tweet comment.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we got our first tweet comment. Somebody saw one of our mini clips on the Twitter and said, "No thanks!" Exclamation point.
They took the time to say no thanks.
Appreciate your honesty. That guy.
Yeah.
Got our first comment. No thanks.
Wow. No thanks. That's
not for everybody, bro.
Yeah, we're not for everybody. But that's really encouraging.
We're an acquired taste. Hey, somebody
watched
our 30-second video. Somebody who's not related to either of us or in our immediate friend group commented. We've made it.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe so you see the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
And thanks,
you, Ben.
Jacob. No, thank you. Because I couldn't have done this episode without you at all. Like you could have done this whole episode. I could have just like made my screen blank.
Thank you to Coffee.
Yeah.
For propelling us through.
Thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to the next one.
You're doing great.